morning, ni hao, wa jiao, CJ, and welcome back to Happy News, etc. Learning Mandarin. We're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. Chinese breakfast menu. Thanks for being here. Starting with a teacher talk. And then I think we're moving to a review. Start closing the app and restarting it. All right, let's see.
And I'm Chris.
There we go.
And in this episode of Teacher Talk, we are going to talk about how to describe prices in Chinese.
Prices.
And to try to make it a little more fun, we're going to use real prices from real life in Beijing. And I suppose for reference, we are recording this in the year 2025. So if you come to China in 2035, we do not promise these are still the same prices.
Maybe just add a little zero right at the end of everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with the core structure, and it's super simple. It's just item plus price plus kuai.
Why?
So if you are having a coffee at Luckin, then you might say 咖啡10块. 咖啡10块. Coffee is 10 kuai.
So, two things here. If you're using kuai, you're already ahead of the game. A lot of people come to China and say, what is kuai? I keep hearing it. Is that the same as renminbi or Chinese yuan? And you go, yes, it is.
Yeah, right.
And second, Luckin, if you haven't been to China yet, is a coffee chain in China. Tried to go international, didn't work, but it offers pretty good coffee at a cheap price. You can only order on your phone, and they try to make you believe that the original price was 30, but they're giving you this great discount, and so you're getting it for 10, but it's always 10.
Yes, 10 every day. Although coffee is quite common in big cities like Beijing, a lot of young people, they will have a cup of coffee every morning. But still, many people, they enjoy traditional Chinese breakfasts like youtiao. And for the price of youtiao, it's 3 kuai. So youtiao 3 kuai. Youtiao 3 kuai. A fried dough stick is 3 kuai. It's quite a cheap and popular breakfast in China.
Yeah, and if you want to include a measure word in the front to include the quantity, for example, 一碗米饭, one bowl of rice, you could say 一碗米饭2块. 一碗米饭2块.
2.
A bowl of rice is 2 kuai.
Yeah, but I think that's the price in convenience stores. If you go to a restaurant, if 你在饭馆, then the price of 一碗米饭 will goes up to 5块 at least. So 一碗米饭5块.
All right, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Still a good price.
Yeah, right. And in spoken Chinese, there are also 2 common variations.
Yeah, basically you can say these 3 things. The thing you're talking about, the number and the price in a lot of different orders. So one day you might decide to say noun, the number with the measure word, and then the price.
Yeah, like 豆浆1杯5块. 豆浆 一杯5块. So 豆浆 at the beginning, soy milk, that's the noun, and then the amount, the quantity. 一杯, a cup or a glass, and at the end 5块, that's 5块. So 豆浆一杯5块. And 豆浆 and 油条, they are a quite classic and common breakfast combination in all over China, I think.
Yeah, something like coffee and donuts, probably similarly bad for you. Fried food right in the morning.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and this is a common, I'd say a very common structure in many times, in many ways that you're speaking Chinese, to kind of announce the thing you're talking about at the beginning and then put all the information later.
Yeah, right.
And you can also do this in another order, which is to announce the thing you're talking about, the noun first, and then the price, and then the number at the end.
Yeah, so if we go to Starbucks, then the price of cafe would be over 30s, I think. That would be 咖啡38块一杯. 咖啡38块一杯.
I wonder what the bar is.
The coffee is 38 块.
38. Yeah, makes
Yeah,
sense.
at least.
Yeah, at least.
I would say a small Americano is 29, but everything else is, yes, 38 and up, probably.
Yeah, so the pattern is flexible. You just put the price after the item and the position of the quantity. You can move it to anywhere you want. But it's always the item first and then the price.
Okay, well, that's good to keep in mind. And if that's a little confusing, we'll try to simplify things a little bit by saying you can sound even more natural by eliminating the word kwai if you would like to.
Yeah, right. So if the price ends the sentence and it's over 10, then you can drop the kwai at the end. So for example, I can say 果汁35. 果汁35. Juice is 35. So there's no kwai at the end.
Yeah, that's an interesting tip, that it has to be over 10. If it was just 9 and you said 9, you'd go, oh, I need another thing to fill in the slot of the sentence. It needs like a pair.
Yeah, right. We are trying to keep some kind of balance.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm sorry to say, 35 is the real price of a fresh juice in Beijing. Somehow, juice has been set to the international market rates as opposed to everything else that's quite cheap.
Yeah, 果汁 is quite expensive here in Beijing. Okay, so then I think I don't need to have a glass of juice for my breakfast, and we can put all the structures we've just mentioned into a practice with a Beijing-style breakfast. So at first, 1 cup of soy milk, that's 5块. 一杯豆浆5块. 一杯豆浆5块.
And then you need to pair that with a fried dough stick for 3 kwai. So 油条3块.
Yeah, and maybe 1 steamed bun today. That's also 3块. So 包子3块一个. 包子3块一个.
Yeah, so altogether that's 11 kwai. Or you could just say 11. So that's less than $2 for a full breakfast.
Yeah, and you notice that every item followed the same rule. So the name first and then price second.
Yeah, I mean, man, Chinese breakfast is so good and so cheap. I mean, whenever we have new faculty coming to our program, I always take them out for breakfast and they go, how much do I owe you? And I say, 0. It's so little. It's basically 0.
Yeah, cheap and good. Okay, so that's all for this teacher talk. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
For a review. The Chinese breakfast shop owner says 2 steamed buns cost 5 kwai. Which of the following ways says it correctly? 包子2个5块. 无快抱着两个. All right.
Hello, everyone. I'm Yan.
And I'm Chris.
Welcome back to our Teacher Talk. In this Teacher Talk, we are going to explore something interesting. What numbers really mean in Chinese culture.
Yeah, and it's not just the numbers themselves. There are so many hidden meanings hidden below the surface of nearly every number in Chinese. Some are lucky, some are unlucky, some are, modern day slang. There's just so many of these going on.
Yeah, so let's see what those numbers are all about. Let's start with the good ones. Those are numbers that bring luck or maybe positive vibes in Chinese culture. And the key numbers here are 6, 8, and 9. So number 6 or 六 in Chinese means smoothness and good luck in everything. So when we want to compliment someone online, we often say 666. It's like 666, which means awesome or smooth. Yeah, it's like you nailed it.
Yeah, and I mean, this was certainly shocking to me because, Western culture, 666 is the sign of the beast or the Antichrist or whatever. And it's like this is something related to the devil. And I don't know, I'd say probably the first time I saw it was maybe 2015 was when it started to become popular. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. How did they pick this number and it to be like such an opposite meaning?
Now you know what's happening, and don't be surprised if someone says 666 to you. They're not trying to do something.
Yeah, cast a spell.
Yeah, so now let's continue with another good ones. Number 8, 八. And this sounds very similar to 发 in Chinese, which means like wealth. Because of this, like people will pay extra money to get a phone numbers or license plates with a lot of 8.
Yeah, I have a distinct memory of going to Qingdao, and I was, near the beach, and I looked at this big tall building and it said, inquire about an apartment. And the number was 88888888. So
Wow.
all eights.
Like if you ever see this like 8888 or 6666 in real life, you need to be respectful to the buildings or maybe the person, the cars, because he or she is definitely somebody. Like you cannot mess up with them. Be respectful.
Yeah.
And then there is number 9, 九, which sounds the same as 久 in Chinese, meaning long-lasting or forever. And it's often used in romantic scenario or maybe love messages. For example, a lot of rich boyfriends might send 9 or 99 roses to their girlfriends because 99 symbolize like forever love. And some even go for 999 and 9,999. So
Wow.
if they're really showing off and rich.
Yeah, I've seen some of these on the WeChat walls, these bouquets that are just large beyond anything I thought was possible. And I just feel bad, I bought my wife like 10 or 12 roses or however many, Yeah.
Hey, that's okay, buddy.
It's still very expensive.
Yeah, so now you need to stick with the good culture we have in China.
Yeah.
Like 99 roses for your wife, please.
Need to earn some more money first, I think. Yeah, well, I mean, that brings us to the bad ones. I think the one that probably a lot of people have heard of is 4, 4, which sounds like death. And it's widely avoided in hospitals, hotel floors, rooms. I mean, I remember in contrast to this rich guy that picked all 8s, when I got my cell phone number, the person said, hey, take a look at these numbers, pick one you like. And just about every single one of them ended with 4. And I went, hey, that's not good. And they said, well, you could pay more to get a better number. And I said, ooh, no, thanks.
Big yes.
I'll pick one that ends in 4. I'm good.
Like, I mean, if I have to pay extra, I'll pick the 4 as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was 10 kwai for a standard phone number. And it just happened that those were the ones left. And then the other one is 3, which people don't really like.
Sun.
I'm not entirely sure about this one. Why don't people like this one?
Because it sounds like san, which means break up in Chinese. So it's usually avoided in maybe wedding dates or maybe in relationships like san and san.
Okay. Oh, that's an interesting thing to look into. Did anyone get married on March 3rd this year?
Wow, I don't know that. Wow, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they will try their best to avoid that date. Okay, so except for those special occasions, numbers also pops up in everyday use, especially in expressing feelings like love, affection, or even sarcasm.
Yeah, for example, a couple that have been really popular over the last few years are numbers like 520 and 1314.
520 is 520 in Chinese, and it sounds
Ling is
very
zero.
similar to I love
Learn
you in
zero.
Chinese, which is 我爱你. Like 520, 我爱你, 520, 我爱你. Yeah, and that's why May 20th has become an unofficial Valentine's Day in China, especially among the young people. If you want to make it even more romantic, like Chris said, we also have 1314, 1314, which sounds like 一生一世 in Chinese, meaning like for a whole lifetime or forever. So putting them together is I love you forever.
Yeah, that reminds me of an old song that probably dates me a little bit, but it's Music Soul Child had a song called 143, which was the old beeper message for I love you.
Really?
Yeah, because there's one letter in I, 4 letters in love, and 3 letters in you. And so that was, anyway, the old man code for I love you. Yeah, beepers.
I'm from Gen Z, so news.
That one's dead. Anyway, and just another little piece of slang in case you wanted a negative one. I'd say using the number 250.
Yeah. Don't mess up 520 and 250, though they use the same number, but it means so much different.
Yeah, it means like you're an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Very straightforward. You're an idiot.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this has something to do with the like R versus Liang and like how people kind of mess up which one you should be using. But I mean, just anything to do with the number 2, really. Even just calling someone, you're very 2 in Beijing.
You're very
R.
stupid.
Yeah, really stupid.
Yeah, that's funny.
And yeah, I guess the worst one would be if you wrote 250 and then you wrote the 1314 afterwards, because that'd mean you're very stupid forever and ever. And that'd be the end of your relationship right there.
Yes. So now you know that people use these numbers, maybe not just in texting, or maybe not just in insulting you, but also on gifts, like red packets during festivals or anniversaries. So number has become a kind of emotional code in our daily life.
Yeah, Chinese people sure love their numbers. Yeah, and that brings me back in my mind to the first time I ever recorded anything with Hello Chinese. We did this in a recording studio in a building that had no 4th floor, no 13th floor, no 14th floor. It had, 12A, 12B, 11A, 11B, and then it had 15. Really an internationally minded building. It was trying to avoid everyone's, the things they're afraid of.
Yeah, that's how we welcome Chris in Hello Chinese.
Yeah, and that building will be standing forever because there's no bad luck in it at all.
Yeah, that's true. And maybe it's a great example of how numbers embed in everyday Chinese life. Like, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Buildings, phone numbers, roses that you send to your girlfriend. So it's like puns that turned into superstitions or trends.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's all for this Teacher Talk. And don't forget to share these fun facts with someone who loves Chinese. And I'll see you in the next Teacher Talk. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
That was a good one. The number 4 is considered lucky in China. It is not. They consider it a death number because it sounds like the word death. I find that fascinating. To not have floors just because of superstition and the number. I don't see a lot of that in the United States. I mean, I know that over here, the number 13, people have an association with that being bad luck. But I don't really remember seeing buildings without a 13th floor here in the States. But apparently over there in China, they don't have a 4th floor and a 14th floor and all of the bad. It's super interesting to me. All right. Well, we made some progress there. I think we're going to do this application of our learnings tomorrow. We got 15 seconds left. Don't want to overwhelm myself. But hey, if you're out there, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. If you press that subscribe button, we're going to pick back up tomorrow with this review. And yeah, I updated my list of words. But anyway, thanks for being here. Have a great rest of your day. Find some time to smile. 我jiao, CJ, 再见, and I'll see you tomorrow.